When I started this series, all I knew going in was that I was in for a slow burn. A story that spans a large amount of entries and that each one has its own well-crafted and thought-out narrative that contributes to the big overarching picture. It's a long journey to stick with, but the payoff is amazing. Many say I would be witnessing one of the best narratives in JRPGs, but what I wasn't expecting was to fall in love with such an amazing cast of characters. I felt so bonded with them as we traveled the world and explored so many cities, fought so many battles, and shared so many memories. I only got a taste of what's to offer, and I'm so excited to see how the story unfolds. This is my experience and thoughts on the Trails in the Sky arc. Hello everyone, my name is Vegiro and this is cozyfeji, and on this channel we cover a variety of things such as video essays, reviews, JRPGs, and all things cozy gaming. So it was the year 2021 and I was doing my hair, and as you all know, as black girlies out there, braiding or doing twists on your hair is a very long process. It can take upwards to hours to a couple days. So I need something to entertain myself. So usually when I do my hair, I like to put on a couple movies, maybe a couple TV shows that I need to catch up on. Sometimes I watch YouTube videos, and when I watch YouTube videos, I love watching long video essays. And so while I was looking on something to watch on YouTube, I had stumbled across one of Lady Virgilia's YouTube videos about Trails in the Sky. And at this moment, I kind of heard little bits and pieces about this JRPG, but not enough to know. So I was like, you know what? I've heard really interesting things about it. I heard a lot of good people love of this series. So I was like, let's just watch the first part of this video essay and see if this is something that I might be interested in. And boy, oh boy, was I interested. That video essay series made my whole braiding hair process a lot faster because I was so enamored and interested and invested into this story that this franchise was building. And so I was like, you know what, before I get way too dived into it, let me play this for my own. So I did more research, and apparently this is a huge long running series of upwards over, I think at that point there was only maybe 10 games released in the West, and each game is very much impactful to the next. They're all very sequential, not like Final Fantasy where each entry is kind of standalone, but Trails of the series or the Legend of Heroes series, each game matters and they all kind of piggyback off or bounce off of or play off of the previous entries. So when you're playing or getting into the series, you have to be committed, and I love a good narrative and story in games. That's my main priority and focus in video games. And when I heard that Trails in the Sky, the Legend of Heroes series was a franchise that has one of the best storytelling in JRPGs, I was like, you know what? Let me take a part of it. And so I wanted to get more into it, did more research about what YouTube channels said about where to start, because in this series everyone has their take on different say of where to start in the series. Some say you can start on the Crossbell arc, some say you can start at the Cold Steel arc, and some say you can just start from the very beginning, chronological order, and work from there. And me being the weird perfectionist I guess that I am, I really wanted to start from the very beginning. And so I wanted to think maybe let's start with Trails. So I did more research into where to start, and the only place that I could see that you could play it was on a PC. And at the time I really wasn't that much of a PC gamer. I only had like my laptop, and my laptop was barely chugging along. It could barely do Google searches, let alone play a game. So that was kind of the end of that and my hyperfixation of this game, and then I kind of went about my business. So it wasn't until 2022 when there was a Steam sale going around, and the first 3 games were on sale on Steam for like relatively like reasonable price. I think I got all 3 games for like around $30 to $35. I was like, bet, let's buy it. So I bought it, and again, like most times, I bought it and I never thought about it ever again. It wasn't until the end of 22, going into 2023, when I was looking to start my YouTube channel, and I thought the best way to start a YouTube channel, or what I desired to do at the time, was to start a Let's Play series, because I thought that was easy to film. I can just film the gameplay while I do funny commentary as I play along, and edit it and just put it on YouTube. I didn't really think much of it, and so that was the start. On January 2023, I started my first episode of the Let's Play series of Trails in the Sky. So with my Let's Play series, I had all the intentions of playing through every single game of the Legend of Heroes series, all from the beginning, from Trails in the Sky, all the way to most recent arc. And at this time, and even till this time, we had Trails into Reverie, and so I thought it'd be fun to document it and to see my journey throughout the each arc. However, that was very short-lived, only because at the time I wanted to go a different route with my channel, because I wanted to do more creative projects and videos on my channel, and Let's Plays were not really cutting it for me. And also, I just wanted to play this game on my own time, because I really wanted to set aside time playing this game, because I had such a lot of fun playing it, but I can only dedicate so much time when it comes to filming for my content. So I was like, you know what, I would get through this game a lot faster if I do it on my own time. So I only got to like the first 4 episodes of, or the 4 like parts to my Trails in the Sky Let's Play of the second chapter on my channel, which are still on my channel. There's a full playlist of my Trails in the Sky first chapter, and then there are the first 4 episodes of the second chapter if you guys want to watch that. But either way, today in 2024, I have now finished every single game in the Trails in the Sky arc, just the Trails in the Sky arc. Funny enough, I actually finished Trails in the Sky the third on New Year's Eve. What a way to end the year. And I wanted to share with you guys my thoughts on my impressions, my thoughts and review on the first 3 games. And I thought this would be a fun way to just cap off and review and feel where I'm at with each arc. So I'm going to do a review of each arc rather than play through every single one. I will play an arc and then share my thoughts, play another one and share my thoughts. And without further ado, let's get into this review with the Trails in the Sky arc. The Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky first chapter is the first installment in the Trails in the Sky trilogy, a part of the larger The Legend of Heroes series, developed by Nihon Falcom. The game follows the story of Estelle Bright and her adopted brother Joshua Bright as they embark on a journey to become bracers in the Liberal Kingdom. The game is set in the fantasy world of Zemuria, specifically in the Liberal Kingdom. The story unfolds in the regions of Roland, Bose, Round, Gransil, and among other locations. We have our main cast of characters such as Estelle Bright, the main protagonist, an energetic and optimistic young girl aspiring to become a racer like her father. Joshua Bright, Estelle's adopted brother, calm and composed with a mysterious past, very much giving I'm in my emo era. We have Cassius Bright, Estelle and Joshua's father, a highly skilled bracer and one of the kingdom's most renowned warriors. Sherazade Harvey, a senior bracer who assists Estelle and Joshua in their journey. Chloe Rins, a student from the Janus Royal Academy with a strong sense of justice, who may have some royalty blood in her. We also have Agate Crossner, a skilled and hot-headed bracer with a troubled past. Zin, our lovable bear of a brother who comes from the Bracer Guild in Calvard Republic. We also have Tifa Russell, an orbital prodigy who's everyone's little baby sister, and of course her grandpa, Professor Russell, and a very interesting mad scientist engineer who helped found the Orbital Revolution. So the main story begins with Estelle chilling at home as she waits for her father to come home from work. As he arrives, he has a little present for her, a little live boy, which is very strange. And why on earth would a man, your father, bring a boy for you as a gift? Most people would give, I don't know, like a toy, a stuffed bear, but no, decided to become and give her a human boy. Even though they had some rocky beginnings, they too became really close and became really good siblings as they grew up throughout the years. So much so that these siblings decided to become racers like their father and embark on a journey across the world. Along the way, they uncover a conspiracy involving the mysterious organization Ouroboros and plan to unleash ancient artifacts called Septarian that control the elements. As Estelle and Joshua progress through their bracer training, they become entangled in a political intrigue and uncover dark secrets about Joshua's past. The narrative explores themes of family, friendship, and the consequences of war. The characters develop as they confront personal challenges and dilemmas. The game's climax takes place in Gransel, the capital of the borough, where the true intent of Ouroboros' plans is revealed. The siblings, along with their allies, must confront powerful adversaries and prevent a catastrophic event that could plunge the kingdom into chaos. The story concludes with a mix of resolution and lingering mysteries, setting the stage for the next installment in the trilogy, Trails in the Sky, second chapter. So what I loved about Trails in the Sky first chapter, it really lays down the foundation of what's happening in the world of Liberl and a little bit of inkling of what's happening in the overall continent of Zemuria. It really is just setting the tone, getting you familiar with the town, getting not just the town of Liberl, but or just the country of Liberl, but all the cities and towns that within it, like such as Zeiss, Roland, and Bose. Also get you familiar with the cast of characters that you're playing with, and it's just really honestly a cozy chill game, minus the end of the game because I got my shit rocked with those last bosses. But yeah, it definitely is a slower paced game. I can definitely see that if you were trying to get into the game and you started with the first chapter, it definitely takes a while to get good. Not good, but it takes a while for things to get going, because again, it definitely sets the tone, and it's more just getting you familiar with the world and the lore and the characters. It isn't towards the later half or even the later third of the game where things start to really pick up and the story gets going. And especially when they leave you on that cliffhanger of the first chapter, you have to know more. You have to it just makes sense to play the second one right after. I can only imagine what people were like when people were playing it the first when it first released and had to wait a couple years before second chapter came out. Ooh, that could not be me. That could not be me. But some of my highlights from first chapter definitely were my time at the orphanage with those kids. I thought that was so cute, just getting to know them, and also Chloe's background and her story. Another one for sure was definitely anytime Olivier was on the screen. That boy was definitely our comic relief. He's so funny. Every time I saw him, I just cracked up because he's just a funny character. I also loved the tournament arc, getting to know Gransel, and the tournament arc was really fun. Also, in the ending as well, of course, without a shadow of a doubt, was definitely the ending and all of things unfolding for Joshua, and all his secrets were kind of just they kind of opened Pandora's box, his closet. All of the skeletons were coming out, and I thought it was really, really cool. And to leave it like that, poor Estelle, girly, poor Estelle. Also, heads up, I should have made this known in the beginning. There might be some spoilers, major or minor spoilers in this video, so you have been warned. So yeah, first chapter was definitely a fun game to really get you going into the nitty-gritty of things and just get you familiar. And it was until second chapter when things start to really get really into it. Trails in the Sky second chapter is the second installment in the series. It continues the story from where the first game, Trails in the Sky first chapter, left off. At the end of the first game, Joshua's true identity is revealed. He's an operative of the secret society Ouroboros, and his original mission was to observe and eventually eliminate his adopted sister Estelle. However, he decided to leave Ouroboros and stay with Estelle. Trails in the Sky, the second chapter, begins with Estelle trying to cope with the emotional aftermath of Joshua's departure. As she searches for him, she discovers that he has been kidnapped by Ouroboros. Determined to rescue him, Estelle embarks on a journey that takes her and her friends across the continent of Liberl. The game introduces new characters and delves deeper into the political and mystical intrigues that have been unfolding since the first installment. The narrative weaves a complex tale involving the mysterious Septine Church, the ancient artifacts known as the Septarian, and the overarching influence of the secret society Ouroboros. Estelle and her companions become entangled in a web of conspiracies that threaten the stability of the entire continent. As they confront powerful adversaries and face personal challenges, the characters undergo significant growth, both individually and as a group. The game's plot is known for its intricate world building, character development, and political intrigue. The narrative is divided into chapters, each unveiling new aspects of an overarching story. Players will encounter numerous twists, turns, and revelations as they progress through the game. Trails in the Sky second chapter not only advances the central narrative, but also provides a deeper exploration of the game's rich lore and history. The relationships between characters, as well as the consequences of their actions, play a crucial role in shaping the unfolding events. This game's meticulous attention to detail, engaging storytelling, and well-developed characters contribute to its reputation as a standout title in the JRPG genre. So with second chapter, I really think, like, I thought when I finished that game, okay, this is peak, this is it, this is definitely going to be my favorite from the trilogy. I absolutely loved it. It took me a while to like really get into it because, like I mentioned before, I put like 4 parts of it on the Let's Play on the channel, and then I started playing on my own time. But I kind of took a break from the game and then went back to it. And so when I finished towards the end of my Let's Play of Trails in the Sky second chapter, I kid you not, I think I put in 2 to 3 days where I literally spent the whole day just playing nothing but Trails, because the story was just that good. Oh my god, everything was just amazing. Like with learning more about Ouroboros, finding out where Joshua was at and trying to like get him to reunite with Estelle. Oh, it was just too good, too good. Like I would just literally be sitting at my desk hours, like an unhealthy amount of hours. I'm pretty sure I got back problems because I was just so into the game. Of course, the gameplay and combat loop is honestly super addicting, but some highlights that I had from second chapter. Definitely at the very beginning of the time of the Bracer camp, I thought that was just a fun, chill way to like, even though you want to get into the nitty gritty as to what happened to Joshua, but going into the Bracer camp, falling with Estelle, just to like get our mind off of things and also just to hone in our skills was really cool. And also get to know Annalise more better was really fun. She was definitely a fun added character. Also, of course, reuniting with Joshua towards the end of the game, or not towards the end, kind of halfway middle point, getting to reunite with him and also just hearing and get to see snippets and bits from his story and his aspect of the story. I think it was really cool about second chapters. He really got to go on his own journey to figure out who he is as a person, how he feels like, and earn his trust back, because obviously he pretty much got to relearn about himself again and realize like, damn, who was I? Who am I? Like he was going through his quarter life crisis way too early in his life. So, because he really went through a really traumatic upbringing. And so being able to have him, you know what, I need to go on my own journey, as selfish as it was, because he has a huge family that will help him through it. But, you know, he's like, no, I'm in my emo era. I need to figure myself out. But hey, you do you, Josh. But being able to reunite with him was a lot of fun. And also learning about Ouroboros and all the members, I thought was really cool. Like how I loved how each Ouroboros member that we got introduced to in the second chapter had a relationship with our main cast. Like, for example, Walter and his relationship with Kilika and Zin, or Zine. Luculla and her relationship with Shara, and then of course we had Leonhart with his relationship with Joshua and that whole dynamic, and then of course we have Reen and her relationship with Estelle and Joshua, and the budding relationship that they grew, and also with Tita as well. But yeah, Ouroboros, and just I think having those relationship and ties with the main cast made it really more intriguing to get to know them as villains, and they made them more interesting villains nonetheless. And of course, like I mentioned, of course, learning more about the Ariel and how Liberl had this really high-tech and advanced society centuries ago, and like for some reason, majority of the country had no idea that this ever existed, is wild to me. Just being able to like, towards the end of the game, we're getting to explore the Ariel a little bit better was really cool, and just learning more about the history was super exciting. And of course, that ending was wild with Professor and all that. I just absolutely loved second chapter. The ending got me really emotional too. I think just in general, these games are definitely a lot more emotional, and tears were definitely shed, but I absolutely loved the ending. And after finishing second chapter, I was like, how can we go from here? And then Trails in the Sky the Third happened, and I think I found a new favorite game. The Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky the Third is the third installment in the series. It continues the story of Estelle Bright and her companions, but with a focus on Kevin Graham, a wandering priest of the Septian Church. The game begins with Kevin Graham arriving at the Liberl Kingdom's Grand Soul Cathedral, where he is tasked with investigating unusual occurrences known as door phantasma, happening in different areas. These mysterious doors lead to alternative dimensions, each presenting a unique challenge in testing the character's resolve. As Kevin explores these doors, players are given insights into his past, his connections with the enigmatic Lord of Phantasma, and his struggles with his own faith. The narrative delves into Kevin's internal conflicts, his relationships with other characters, and the repercussions of his actions as a dominion of the Septian Church. Meanwhile, the game also features flashbacks and side stories that shed light on other characters from the Trails in the Sky series, providing closure to some unresolved plot points and adding depth to the overall narrative. Players revisit familiar faces such as Estelle, Joshua Bright, Aga Crossner, and Tita Russell, among others. Throughout the game, Kevin faces various challenges, battles powerful foes, and ultimately confronts the Lord of Phantasma in a climactic showdown. The story weaves together elements of fantasy, mystery, and character development, creating a rich and engaging narrative that ties up loose ends from previous games in the series. Trails in the Sky III is known for its intricate storytelling, well-developed characters, and exploration of themes like faith, identity, and sacrifice. It serves as a crucial bridge between the Trails in the Sky trilogy and the subsequent arcs in the Trail series, contributing to the overarching narrative of the Zemuria continent. So what's interesting with Trails in the Sky III is that it's kind of like an epilogue game where it kind of ties up some loose ends from the first chapter and second chapter, also bridges some ideas and things that might happen into the next entries in the series, as well as an interesting thing about the third is that we have a whole new main focus. Rather than being Estelle and Joshua, it's Kevin, who was kind of part of the main cast in the second chapter, but was more of a supporting role, but now he's our main protagonist in this game. So I really did not expect that going into it. And so a lot of people said about the Trails in the Sky the Third is that it's a fun game, but it's not their favorite. Sometimes people say you can skip it, which I think is wild that people would even have the audacity to say to skip this game, because there's so much lore. The amount of lore dump that you get in Trails in the Sky the Third, do not miss it. Absolutely do not miss it. But yeah, I never would have thought that coming out of this game that Kevin would be one of my favorite, if not my favorite character in the Trails in the Sky franchise. Love him to pieces. We literally follow him as he's literally battling with his inner demons. Wow. And getting to know Rice, which is a new character into the series, into the series, was really, really cool added factor to it. Some of my highlights for sure in Trails in the Sky the Third was obviously getting to know Kevin more and his backstory and his childhood and his upbringing. Like, damn, I'm not gonna lie, because I thought first and second chapter were emotional. Bring out the box of tissues. Bring out 2. Matter of fact, bring out 3, because this game had me in a sobbing mess and I was an emotional wreck with the amount of stuff going into it. But yeah, getting to know Kevin was an emotional journey. Well, even though there are a dungeon crawling aspect with Trails in the Sky the Third, and there's not much exploring the world like you are in the first 2 games, but what's really interesting about Trails in the Sky the Third is that there are these doors that help give more lore, more backstory on certain characters, and just also drops hints as to what to expect in the future games. So the doors in particular that I definitely, without a shadow of a doubt, that I have to mention is doors 14 and 15. Ooh, my God. Okay. I need 14 was an interesting one because it definitely got to explain more about what and who Ouroboroses are, and that's all I'm going to say. I don't want to spoil too much because if you are playing these games and are currently playing or have interest in playing, I will leave that at that. Door 14 gives you more about Ouroboros and all that. Door 15 definitely has some trigger warnings. So I'll definitely put the trigger warnings here because it is definitely a lot, and if you are not mentally ready to experience it, maybe forego this door, even though it does give a lot of backstory on a certain character, and that character is Reen. It definitely does have a lot of intense material and content in that one. But however, I definitely was what a way to play this game on New Year's Eve. I'm just crying before the new year, just sobbing to this story. But it definitely gave us a backstory on Reen and her character and why she joined Ouroboros in the first place. And even though she's a very cute, sick, twisted kid, she's sick and twisted because of what has happened to her in her past, and I really loved how they explored that. And I truly, truly hope that she finds peace, and whether that be on her own or with Joshua and Estelle, I just hope that she does find that peace, because all I wanted to do at the end of that door was just protect baby girl at all costs. And of course, with Trails in the Sky the Third being an epilogue and also kind of a bridging stone for the other games, is that it gives us hints and bits and pieces of what's to come in the next coming arcs with Crossbell, as well as what's to happen in Erebonia. We got to see some big people and big characters that I think we might play a huge part in what's happening in the whole continent of Zemuria. in some of the doors and stories. So I'm really excited to see how that plays out, because currently right now I'm playing through Trails from Zero, and I'm in the Crossbell arc, very, very beginning. It's kind of making me kind of reminiscent to the first and second chapter, where we're kind of getting to know the characters and the city and the world and getting to know more about the lore. So yeah, I'm really, really so thankful and happy that I took the time to play these games, because wow, Trails in the Sky, just from this arc alone, had me gripped and had me intrigued, had me excited for what's to come in the next entry. And if anything to take away from this review is, do it. If you have any inkling or desire or kind of interest on playing this game, please do. I know the barrier of entry may kind of seem difficult, but as someone who is new to the series and is working their way up, I highly, highly, highly recommend it. I'm enjoying my time, and it's just a really nice way to just like play this game in between other games, to just explore the story and see how it unfolds. But yeah, absolutely loved what I played in the Trails in the Arc, and I cannot wait to see where my journey takes with me in the next series. So comment down below, what is your favorite character in the Trails in the Sky arc, and what is your favorite game from the Trails in the Sky arc? Again, if you guys enjoyed this video, do not forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and thank you guys so much for watching, and have a good one. Bye.